This is Tom Dillon, the Lifetime Liberal. Today is Sunday, June 1st, 2025. The title of this rant is, Hey Democrats, never rely on the mainstream media again. They're useless. You need a new song. So I've been ranting about this on and off for years, but just this week, we had the senator from Iowa, Joni Ernst, make a complete fool of herself, saying that we're all going to die. Now, let's just make this clear. You're taught in politics day in and day out. Don't say anything stupid. Don't say anything that can come back to haunt you. Know what you're going to say before you say it. All this kind of stuff. That went out the window, okay? And she tried to make up for it the other day with another video that made her look even worse. I also want to say I have absolutely no sympathy for her whatsoever. She was a sexual assault victim. She said she was in her book, and she knew Pete Hegseth had committed sexual assault. And if she had stood up as a senator, he may not be a defense secretary, and he's doing a terrible job, but that's a different story. So I got no sympathy for her whatsoever in all of this. The second thing I want to mention is that Trump had a repost of something where Biden was executed in 2020 and a clone took his place, blah, blah, But here's the thing. They're running. You're not going to hear that stuff on conservative talk radio, TV, or any of that kind of stuff. They're not going to bring that stuff up. And then if you're watching whatever it is, MSNBC, all they're going to do is talk about how outraged they are, and they're just preaching to the choir. The Democrats, you need a new song. You need to go after people who don't pay any attention to you. You need to find someone, some people, some group, whatever it is, that can talk to them on their level so that they can understand what a F-word mess the mainstream media is, and also the Republican Party. So again, I want to emphasize, Joni Ernst made a complete fool of herself. The mainstream media is not going after it like they should. Why is not every mainstream media personality asking every senator, congressperson, even people in their own state, do you agree that we all die? Do you agree that we don't need to have Medicaid, Medicare because we're all going to die, so we should just cut it all out and give all that money to rich people? Is that what you want? That's what they should be saying. How many of them are saying that? None, and then we're not going to hear any of that stuff. Some of this stuff that we hear on this side, no one on the other side ever hears because they're not paying attention. So the Democrats, you need a new song. You need to go out. You need to get a hero. You need to get a healer. You need to get someone who can speak to those who don't normally pay any attention to you and speak their language. You're not doing that right now. Republicans are getting away with stuff, and you can't do anything because you're relying on the mainstream media to tell your story, and no one's paying any attention to you. Get on the ball and get with it right now. This country needs Democrats.